Okay, good morning, everybody. So we're going to start off with some notes. And first thing we want to do is make sure our name is on the paper. We put the date, the title of our notes, U1.L2, order of operations notes. So once we do that, we're going to start off with some vocabulary. Now, the order of operations tells you how to evaluate problems. Okay? Now, you all might remember PEMDAS. Now, what PEMDAS stands for is parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, or subtraction. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. It's a way some people learn how to remember that. Now, these are what the symbols look like. So these are parentheses. Another way to write parentheses are brackets. This is a way to note exponents. This is the multiplication sign. It's just a dot in the middle of two numbers, usually. Division looks like this. Addition, subtraction. Okay, so some notes. Some key takeaways here are, first, multiplication and or division are evaluated first from left to right. So the same way we read is the same way you would evaluate whether or not we do multiplication or division first. So it doesn't mean multiplication comes before division. It means that whichever one you see first. So if I saw division before I saw multiplication, when reading from left to right, that's what I would do first. Okay? Second, addition and subtraction, these last two, are also interchangeable, meaning they have to be evaluated last from left to right. Okay? And third, you always want to work from the inside of the parentheses to the outside parentheses. Now I'm going to give you some examples of what I mean. So for number one, multiplication and division, you evaluate them first from left to right. So here, I've worked out a problem, right? That problem is 10 divided by 2 plus 4 times 3. Now, when reading this from left to right, I see division first. Now, remember, division and multiplication, those have to go first before you do addition and subtraction. So I'm not going to look at this yet. I'm only looking at this division. And when I divide 10 divided by 2, I get 5. Then I'm going to bring down my plus sign, and I'm going to evaluate 4 times 3, and I'm going to get 12. Then when I combine 12 and 5, I get 17, and I put it in a nice box to let my teacher know that this is my final answer. Okay? For note number 2, addition and subtraction are always evaluated last from left to right. Here's my example. 3 plus 5 minus 6. So when reading from left to right, if I wrote an arrow and I went from left to right, I see 3 plus 5 first, so I'm going to focus on that. 3 plus 5 gives me 8, right? Then I'm going to bring whatever is left over here. 8 minus 6 gives me what? 2. Okay? Then I box it all nice and pretty. Final answer. For note number 3, you always want to work from the inside of parentheses to the outside of parentheses. Here's my example, and I'm going to work through this with you. So here it says 3 plus bracket 4 minus parentheses 2 times 1 parentheses bracket, right? So with two sets of parentheses, I'm going to work from the inside out, just like my rule says. So inside it says 2 times 1. So 2 times 1 I know is 2. And then what's left is 3 plus bracket 4 minus 2 bracket. So inside 4 minus 2 gives us 2. And now I'm left with 3 plus 2, which gives us 5. And I'm going to box my answer and move on. Okay?